Yeah, I mean, I think Ateneo. I mean, bias aside,
Yeah.
and everything like that. Objectively speaking, because of the fact that arguably they have the best coach in college basketball, maybe best coach in basketball bar none in the country, in Coach Tab Baldwin, and I kind of feel like he's gonna have a chip on his shoulder this
Yeah.
season. That's the first reason. Second reason is, like I said earlier, they have so many veterans on this team, no? And veterans who, over the past 2 years, have also gained valuable experience playing for Gilas as well. No, so these are veterans na hindi sila nakatenga or hindi sila nakaparada lang, parang gano'n, no? You have Ange Kwame, who is still, I think, the gold standard for foreign student athletes, entering the season. Obviously, you have SJ Belangel, Dave, like you mentioned, is coming back, and he, for one, I know, is extremely excited to
Mhm.
put his old Ateneo colors back, and then make an impact. Gio Chu is going to be there. Tyler Tio, Gian Mamuya coming back from not playing in 2019 are Rafi Verano and Jolo Mendoza, and you have up and coming veterans, Matthew Daves, BJ Andrade, and then
Oh
of
yeah.
course new names, former LaSalle Green Hills junior blazer Inan Fernilos, I think, is in the final pool.
Oh.
So that's one person I'm really excited to see play. No? And
Mm.
then of course my former players, Forsky Padrigao and Josh Lazaro,
Yeah.
I'm really hoping they can impact this season. And the Phil Foreigners, Chris Kuhn, I think Andrew Bongo is there. I'm not sure if Kai Balungay is eligible to play, hindi pa yata, no? But he's also
Yeah, I
another
think
exciting
next
player
year
to
pa.
watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, next year pa yata. So, from
Mm.
top to bottom, even if you go 1 to 20, kasi 20, it's a 20-man
Oh.
pool, diba, for all the teams this season. You go 1 to 20, and Ateneo, they might not have the glitziest names, unlike, one other team we'll probably talk
Mm.
about later. But they have a lot of
Yeah.
experience and championship experience, Gilas experience. Yeah, Coach Tab right there. I think they're still the team to beat. No, will they remain undefeated? You know what? If I'm being completely honest, and I'm not reverse jinxing, Ateneo here, but I don't think they're gonna stay undefeated. I mean, given the quality of a couple of the other teams we're gonna talk about, given again, the unpredictability of the whole setup this season, I think the environment is ripe for one team out there to give Ateneo an L or two, this season. They're still my favorites to win everything, but I'm not sure if they're going to sweep the entire thing again this year. I think that's going to
Mm.
be an extremely tall ask for Ateneo to do again.
And I think at I don't know if they're the strongest team offensively, but then for sure defensively, like with Ange manning the paint and and sila Gian on the backcourt, like they create a lot of chaos for their opponents, and I think they could build through that. And do you think Neo will have the same parang ingredients na walang magkakaroon ng parang mythical five appearance? Like, bihira sila magkaroon ng ganun na parang mythical five with Coach Tab or spread out ang scoring. So yung like kung si Dave, he needs to adjust kasi sa NU, diba? Like number one scorer number two scorer in the whole UAAP. So it's more of like that offensively than defensively. Dun talaga sila magfo-focus on how to beat these teams.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, I think one obvious characteristic of any Coach Tab Baldwin team is the system. It's a system framework that they really build upon. It's very rare where you'll have anyone here, go one on one, ISO, and especially now that Thirdy's not there. Dwight, I guess, was supposed to inherit that role,
Yeah.
but he's not there as well. I mean, Dwight is kind of like a never was for Ateneo, diba? Because he was supposed to play in 2020, but that never happened. Now he's doing something else. If there's one person who can maybe do that, it's probably Dave. No, let's say 5 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Nothing's happening. The defense has got basang basa yung cuts and screens ng Ateneo. I think Dave's the person who can probably freewheel a little
Mm-hmm.
bit on this team. But like what you said, Diego, I don't foresee anybody on this team making it to the mythical five. Not because they're not talented enough,
Yeah.
but because that's just how the system works. It's not designed for any one or two players to really, you know, shine or be a cut above the rest across an entire season. Maybe you're gonna have an SJ game. Maybe you're gonna have an Ange Kwame game. I'm sure you're gonna have a Dave Ildefonso or a Tyler Tio game, no? Maybe even a Jolo Mendoza game here and there. But I don't think there's gonna be that one person or even two persons who will, kind of carry this team all by their lonesome throughout the entire season. And that's why I wouldn't be surprised if nobody ends up on the mythical five again. No? Maybe SJ has a chance because he's just a really really good point guard. But apart
Mm-hmm.
from him, I'm not even gonna say Ange because si Ange kasi doesn't really look for his own numbers. Eh. It just
Yeah.
comes to him. So I don't think this is gonna end up with one or two people in the mythical five.
Yeah, that's what I thought of as well. I don't know from based on my prior knowledge in Ateneo. But then, how about do you think they have the deepest bench, and is that like a really massive edge that they'll have entering the season?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure if deepest. No, I mean, because when we say
Mm-hmm.
deepest, it usually pertains to the talent, the skill level.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say no. They don't have the deepest bench, but I think they probably will have. They definitely have the most experienced supporting cast, and I think they probably have the most stable, supporting cast out there. No, and by supporting cast, just thinking about the pool based off memory, it's probably gonna be Mamu, probably Rafi Verano, maybe Jolo Mendoza,
Mm-hmm.
maybe BJ Andrade, Gio Chu probably coming off the bench. Then
Yeah.
you got the Phil Force, the newcomers, the rookies, Fortsky, Josh Lazaro, Chris Kuhn probably coming off the bench as well. Daves and Troy Malilin. So not the deepest, but stable,
Mm-hmm.
solid supporting cast for this team, and I think that's really all that they need moving forward. I mean, it's not this is not a top heavy team. It's just really stable, 1 through 20, and I think that's what makes them dangerous and the favorites, entering season 84.
Oh, okay, okay. Sige. Pero based on what you lamented on, like, what do you think could be the weakness that one of these schools could exploit and snatch a game here and there? And then, do you think that could be the go-to guy offensively, like what you said, na wala na nga si Thirdy? And even before, Matt could manufacture a shot when the shot clock's running down. But then now they have Dave, and I think he could do that. But then do you think they have other weaknesses? Like, yeah, for instance, I think UP, they're very talented as well, and hopefully Lasal. What do you think these teams could do for Ateneo to, have an off night and then lose for the first time since season 81?
Well, I think two things. No, there are two potential, I would say, maybe chinks in the armor for Ateneo. The first one is in any game, if Ange gets into foul trouble, or knock on wood, okay, he gets injured or something.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if Ateneo has the depth and the size at the front court to make up for that. I mean, backing Ange up, I'm assuming will be Gio Chu, and
Yes.
Gio, the his journey has been really really far already. Coming from Pace Academy, a small school in Quezon City, then Ateneo de Manila for high school, and then Ateneo for college. No, his improvement has been dramatic. No, across the past 4 or 5 years. So I think he's gonna be a solid backup to Ange. But if there's any moment in any game when Gio needs to be the number one big guy to to go up against a Malik Diouf from UP or a Carl
Mm.
Tamayo, or to try and shadow a Balti Baltazar or any of the Phillips brothers from
Mm.
LaSalle, or the foreign student athlete for FEU, Emmanuel Ojuola, no, then he's gonna have a hard time, I think, no,
Mm.
against those guys. No? So that's the first potential chink in the armor I see in Ateneo. No? The front court depth um, might not be there. No? So Ange really has to watch his fouls and really be healthy, no? Throughout the entire season. Second is, if in any game, their outside shooting goes south, I think that can be exploited by some of the stronger, deeper teams in the UAAP. I mean, you have no Anton Asistio, you have no Matt Nieto. Uh, I mean, Mike Nieto also was a pretty
Yeah.
reliable 3-point shooter for this team.
Even Wong, Adrian
Yeah,
Wong.
yeah, even Wong, diba?
Mm.
So now, I mean,
Mm.
SJ's good,
Mm.
but without Matt Nieto to be the facilitator and to find him, he's gonna be the one to facilitate everything. So
Mm.
he's gonna be the one looking for maybe BJ Andrade, maybe Jolo Mendoza, Tyler Tio. If he is developed a
Mm.
consistent 3-point shot, then that's good. But I didn't see that the past couple of seasons. So
Mm.
that for me could be another chink in the armor for Ateneo. I've heard that the Phil Italian guy, si Gomez, no,
Oh.
supposedly is a pretty good shooter. I haven't honestly seen him in an actual game situation, so I'm not sure. But based on the names that I've seen in the pool, that could be potentially a chink in the armor for Ateneo. No? If in any game the 3-point shooting is cold, then that could catch them in a very bad situation, and that could end up in a loss for the Blue Eagles.